I finally caught up with the 2024 multiple Oscar-nominated film The Zone of Interest from director Jonathan Glazer in the theater, and wow, was this good. It's nominated for Best Director, Best Picture, Best Screenplay, maybe some other things. And it is the story of the family of Rudolf Hess, who it was a commandant at Auschwitz concentration camp on behalf of the Nazis. And it's a story of his home life. All you see is this beautiful house, well manicured gardens, and his family living in this house. Large wall behind his house, and just over the top of that wall, you can see a smokestack. And you can hear things. You can see the top of some buildings. And basically, it's him and his family living a ordinary, mundane, comfortable life right on the other side of a concentration camp. We never go into the concentration camp. We see sort of bits of it from a distance. Occasionally somebody will walk by the front gate, or we'll see people entering the front gate, and we'll see again what just peeks over the wall of the house. But otherwise, it's just people having dinner and getting ready for family visits. The mother of his wife, who's portrayed by Sandra Hüller, who is also nominated for Academy Award for a different film, for Anatomy of a Fall this year. And it's just their average life, but it's really disturbing because their average life is comfortable, humdrum, pleasant. Well, just on the other side of that wall, life for the people there, absolutely the opposite. Really, really not what's going on in this film. So as you see them go about their lives, there's discussion of what's going on in the camp. There's moments where you see Haas in his office, or talking to people, or on the phone. And if you know what went on in that camp, you know what he's talking about. And you see them looking at plans, very coldly and calculated plans for these ovens and what they're going to do and how they're going to work and how they're going to be more efficient and they can move more units through those ovens and things like that. Very, very, very disturbing in how emotionless and humdrum and cold everything you see in this film is. What really sells it is the audio design. There's this underlying hum that is always present in the film, most of the time in the film. And you know that's the ovens going. And you'll hear in the distance, echoing in the distance, gunshots and people screaming and people yelling orders in German. And it's never translated, you just hear it. The film is in German, by the way, with English subtitles. And it's it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a rough one. Again, without ever being explicit, without ever showing you what's going on, it relies on the audience to sort of know what's going on. And it maybe that's what I keep wondering. It's like, if you somehow were ignorant of the Holocaust and all of that, and you went to see this, would it have the same impact? Like if you were a kid and you watched this, would it have the same impact? And I think it gives you maybe enough in here to sort of remind you. And then at the end, it gives you something interesting that really reflects on that. The end was a little weird to me because it does something editing and time-wise that it was unexpected to me, but excellent film. Really, really good. It's one of those films. It was interesting. We saw it at a local art house theater, decent sized audience for a weekend matinee, and everybody was sort of light and upbeat. And I said, as you know, just before the trailers were starting, I said, these people aren't going to be laughing when this movie's over. And sure enough, it was like, quite rightly, it was like you were leaving a funeral at the end of the film. Everybody was dead silent and walked out to deal with it in their own way. So excellent film, excellent performances, beautifully shot, great sound design, and highly recommend seeing this in a theater if you can. It'll be in a theater for a while as I record this. Ultimately, its life will be on streaming and all that. But in a theater, you can focus on it. You are surrounded by the sound design. There are no distractions. It's just you and the story, and you have to face it and experience it. At home, there's, pause it, and there's everything else in your life going on. So if you can see this in a theater, I highly recommend it. In theaters now, on streaming if you're watching this later, The Zone of Interest.